Yeah. Huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, brother like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. You're listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
We in this thing, Sports Coma representing. Big ups to the fam. We up in this thing, representing the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. How y'all doing? Good to see y'all in the stream. We're going to start it off, fam. Much love to you guys, man. We're going to get it going with some of these interviews. Just two of them right now. We got dialed up. Dennis Sally kind of react what the old DA says. Then we kind of jump into the things about Saints camp day number 11, man, which is going to be pretty good. So big ups to OG, Black Major. Good to see y'all in the stream. Saints lead the way. Big ups, fam. Appreciate you. Bronze, big ups to you, brother Neville. Big ups to the fam. Yes, that is exactly the theme song for it has been that way, hasn't it? For the last year or two? Glenn is leading the way when it starts off like this. You already know. Yeah. You already know, OG. All right, man. Anyway, let's get it going, man. We're gonna recap some of these things, but let's get it going on the interview front. Let's start it off with old Possum Puss himself, man, Dennis Allen. Here we go, fam. Give old Possum Possum Puss. Let's get it going with old Possum Puss early, man.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. Look, back out here in pads again today. Have an off day tomorrow for the players. And so I think it's a good time for an off day. Get our guys to recover just a little bit. We'll start later in the week, start kind of turning our attention a little bit more towards Arizona. I don't think we're at that point yet. Again, we worked some 2-minute situations. A lot of good situations came up today. So, yeah, it was good. Kamara had a rest day. I know that's going to be the question. So Kamara had a rest day today. So everything's all good there. Yeah, so another good practice, I thought.
What kind of 2-minute situation today? 1:15 left.
In the game, down 2, so a little bit more stressful on the defense, in terms of, they're not having to gain really had to gain about 30 yards to get themselves into field goal range, so trying to create, some stressful situations on both sides of the ball. So I thought we operated in those situations really on both sides of the ball pretty well.
Dennis, Brian Brzee said yesterday that things are slowing down for him in year 2. Are you seeing evidence of that?
Yeah, look, I mean, what I've noticed is a guy that looks different. I think he's changed his body. I think he looks like he's in better shape than he was when he first got here last year. I see more lower body power, so there's more balance when he creates contact with a blocker. So he's able to play a little bit more physical, which I think is an area that he's got to improve on. And and I think that's pretty typical for a younger player after they get a season under their belt. Man, here's what people don't realize: they go right from playing a college season and they go right into training for the combine and trying to get themselves ready for the combine. And then next thing you know, they're in an off-season program, and they got a couple of weeks off, and then they're back into training camp. And it's like a little bit of a whirlwind for these guys. And so, going into year 2, the season's over in January. You've got some time to kind of evaluate, what you did well, what you didn't do so well, where are the areas that I can improve on, how can I get better? You identify those areas, and then you start to go to work on how am I going to improve in those areas. And so I think that's pretty common for a young player. And I've seen some growth in terms of that from Brazil.
It seems like you got a long way to go, but obviously, can you charge progress, I guess, from spring to now, and how much a day like this can help him?
Who's that? Spencer Rattler?
To get the extra reps.
Yeah, look, I mean, he got a lot of reps today, which was good to see. I think he's improving every day. There's still some things that he's doing that, we've got to just some, understanding how to play within the scheme of the offense, how to get through your progressions, knowing how to listen to your feet, when to take your chances down the field, when it's time to check the ball down. All those things are pretty, good learning experiences. I wanted to put him in a situation, 4th and 5 there, and in a move the ball situation, see if he could, execute and make a play. And he did. He made a hell of a throw on an out route, get a first down in that situation. So I see some of that, like, confidence, which I think is good at the quarterback position. And yet, there's some times where I think we got to, pull the reins back just a little bit.
Is his timing a lot better in the spring?
Yeah, and I think that's both him and, the offense, the receivers, tight ends, all those guys are getting, a little bit better timing as they've had a chance to kind of work together a little bit.
This is the first time in a while that you guys haven't had like a other in to back up your starter. How do you kind of feel about just Jake and Spencer and kind of through that lens?
Well, I think we got to let these preseason games play it out. I think we're trying to determine if we have a backup quarterback on our roster right now. I've seen some signs that I like, and yet I want to get them into real life situations under the lights and see how both of these guys operate in that environment. So I'm encouraged by what I've seen out of both Spencer and Jake, and yet we haven't made any decisions there, and I want to see what they operate like under the lights.
Yeah, I've seen you make a similar comment like that the other day with these young backups. I mean, we've seen some teams around the league. I guess Tyson did last year over the Bears. I think Luton got that. I mean, do you have a philosophy on the backup quarterback as you have to meet a certain threshold? You don't want to see young guys sinking or swimming in that role?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm going to give these young guys every opportunity to prove that they're deserving of that role. And that comes through what you do out here on the practice field and what they're going to do when they get into preseason games. And so I don't think I've ever shied away from playing young players, and yet they've got to earn it. And so that's kind of where we're at.
What's been your assessment of the kickers?
I think it's been a good competition. I think both players have been a little bit more inconsistent than I would like right now. I mean, obviously, I'm expecting 100%, and so I think we still have work to do in that area. But both of them have talent, and I'm talking about just the field goal kickers right now. Both of them have talent. Both of them have really strong legs. Both of them have hit 60-plus yard field goals, and both of them have missed some ones that we need them to make. And so I don't think we're settled at that position yet. I think we've got to make sure that we've got a guy that we can count on in a critical situation to make the kicks that we need him to make to win games.
What has been the experience having training camp here?
Listen, I think it's been a good experience for us. Obviously, the weather's been probably exactly what I would have been looking for. I don't think it's been, too cool. Certainly hadn't been too hot. We're not dealing with a ton of humidity, so I think the weather's been awesome. I think, our setup at the hotel from a meeting room standpoint has been outstanding. I think our guys are able to kind of get away from some of the distractions that take place when you're at home, and they're really kind of able to focus in on, building a team, building a tough, smart football team, and building a team that's united together and willing to work and grind for each other. So I've enjoyed the experience.
Does getting away from the Louisiana heat, do you think that was going to help on the injury front? And being out here and having as many injuries as you guys do right now, has that been maybe slightly disappointing or anything like that?
Well, look, it's more than what I would like, certainly. But I also think this. I also think that, at some point you got to build some callus for the regular season, and some of this is the price of doing business. And we're going to do everything we can to try to avoid injuries as much as we possibly can. And yet, that's the game that we play. And we're going to push them hard. And our guys are responding, and they're doing well in that regard. So there'll be a point where I feel like we're going to need to, back off just a little bit, try to get them back a little bit. But I don't think we're at that spot yet.
Or simply getting caught your eye with that.
Yeah, look, I think Willie every day does something that catches my eye. I think with him, it's just about being more and more consistent. There's a lot of splash plays that I've seen from him from an athletic standpoint that, they're really good plays. And then there's some things that, he's got to get corrected or else it's going to cause us some issues. So I just think really with Willie, it's more about the consistency. Here's what I love about Willie is he comes out to work every day. He's got a smile on his face. He works extremely hard. He knows what his challenges are, and he works extremely hard to try to get those things corrected. So, I think we're still in the process there with him. But yet I see improvement. I see, a guy from where he was in the spring to where he's at right now. I've seen some significant improvement.
There's signs of tempo all the times that we notice. I'm not sure if this is something you've done in years past or a new drill this year. When you were have the whole defense out for the turnover drill. Is that something you've introduced as part of the increased tempo?
No, that's a drill we've done. I don't think we usually let you guys into practice that early, so you probably haven't seen that drill. But yeah, but yeah, it's a drill we've done, and it's designed to try to increase the tempo a little bit, and also it's a turnover drill, and it's designed to kind of teach us what we need to do when we are able to take the ball away and how we convert from being a defensive mindset to an offensive mindset and going to try to score on defense. So it's just one of probably a half a dozen drills that we do to start practice.
I have noticed, and maybe it's because we're not out here all the time, but there's been different sessions where you guys are sprint to this, sprint to this, sprint to this. Is there anything you've done to increase tempo or not necessarily?
No, I think there's an increased sense of urgency with these drills. And I think, I read something where Tyron had said, we're going to play with way more attitude. And I think that's something that, we've tried to address, and that, defensively, I think there's another gear and another mindset that we have to get to, from a defensive standpoint. I think when you play good defense as we have here, I think there sometimes can be a little bit of comfortability with, that we're just going to kind of go back out there and play, good defense because that's what we've done in the past, and that's not the way this operates. And so I think there's been a renewed sense of, the philosophy behind the way that we play defense, and that's kind of what we're trying to get back to a little bit.
What are Amadi and down there for some degree?
Brewer's got a tricep, and Amadi's a groin.
What does a day off look like for coaching staff?
Not a day off. A lot of meetings. A lot of meetings. Personnel meetings. Talk about the players. Talk about where we're at. Who's doing well. Who needs to improve. What areas do they need to improve in? There, a lot of that type of discussions. A lot of work on upcoming practices, getting those things planned, scripted, things of that nature. And then, certain projects, special projects, we'll start working on, putting together game plans for Arizona. We've already been in the process of, kind of looking at our first, regular season opponents and some of the things that they're doing and some of the things that we can expect, and, how and when we can maybe start to incorporate, some things that we may want to utilize against, our upcoming opponents. So that's really what that looks like. There's a lot of meetings.
Y'all kind of use days off that way, like the players will get practice off. But how do you keep your coaches from burning out through the mental grind of training camp?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, here's the thing. When you start looking at regular season, and there's a lot of late nights and things of that nature, and in training camp, we get done with our walkthroughs, call it 7 o'clock, give or take, and we'll get back to the hotel, and coaches will go through and watch the walkthrough and make whatever kind of training camp cut-ups that they need for their players. But it's not one of these all-night affairs. And then when you get to the day off, you're probably not starting quite as early in the morning. and usually we'll go through till about dinner time, and then give guys some time to maybe go grab some dinner together or get an early turn in for an early night. So it's kind of how you handle it during this time of year.
I guess you gotta get used to it sometime. Do it in the next 6 months, right?
Yeah. Well, look, there's going to be plenty of time for that grind, and look, the reality is, both as a player and as a coach, the grind is these practice days, man. We're putting in some significant work, both mentally and physically, really from the time we get up in the morning until we get through, mostly for the players through the walkthrough or whatever the case may be, and then we get to kind of take a little bit of a breath and kind of recover just a little bit. So certainly not the same dynamic as it is during the season.
I know you've been out here all day, but have you heard anything about Jake Haener and his procedure?
I've not heard anything on that yet. No.
In those meetings, do you take stock of who I think is winning the quarterback competition, or is that something you're constantly thinking about, or is that is the day off a good time to kind of evaluate to see where you stand?
Yeah, no, I think look, you're constantly evaluating it, but I think the day off is really the time that we kind of get a chance to kind of sit back, reflect on what's happened the last 4 days. All right, we had one of these the last time we had a day off. You get a chance to sit back and reflect on where things are and what we're doing, both from an individual standpoint in a player evaluation and from a collective standpoint, position groups and each side of the ball, looking at where we're at collectively as a group, and what are some of the things we're doing well, what are some of the things we can improve on, what are some of the things that we want to emphasize, what are some of the things we want to kind of move away from a little bit. So, all right, thanks, guys.
All right, Dennis. Give old Dennis Saddle a little round of applause simply because it's over with. We can move on to something else. Big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream, man, as we get ready to we'll bounce just in a few seconds over until some of the news, notes, and items before we hit the interview for Spencer Rattler, who was talking some good game. A lot of people excited about Spencer. A lot of people are excited about Spencer, man. They really are, and they should be. The guy has a lot of talent, and the QB position is, in terms of the backups, are where we are currently looking. So he's taking advantage of the fact that Jake Haener is absent, taking care of his business, and that's just one of the things that that happens during the time. You have to step up and seize the day. Take advantage, man. Where the guy's out right now, and that's what kind of game it is, man. Guys got to step up when you get the opportunity to. Anyway, let's keep it going, man, in this thing. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the live. Please feel free to hit the like button. Big ups to rest of the fam. Bullet Family Travel Vlog, Pelicans Nola, Jack Hunter. Big ups to you as well. Big Bull says the media have more questions about the backup than Derek Carr. Let the narrative begin. Yeah, it is. It's not to tell you, man. Yeah, it's a lot, and like I said, a lot of that's driven by the fact that a lot of the Who Dat family members, unfortunately, are not feeling Derek Carr. I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of people don't like Carr, and I think that's one of the main reasons why you see a lot of people kind of feeling the way they do about him. So, it's just simply what it is, man. And it's a part of the game, man, to be honest with you. And like I said, I think a lot of it, he did it to himself, when he came in here, man. When Derek Carr came in here, man, people were like, okay, let's see what he can do. A lot of people wasn't really big on him, but I was like, okay, the guy he could throw the deep ball. He piled up a ton of yardage with the Raiders. Let's see what he can do with our wide receivers, because we had guys that could fly. And you got a big arm. Usually, traditionally, if you have a big arm quarterback and guys that have talent that could fly, guess what? That usually means that's a match made in heaven, baby. But it hasn't been quite the heaven that we've anticipated. Been a lot of bumps and bruises, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of finger pointing. It ultimately didn't end good. But right now, they're trying to figure it out. under the pressure of what could be Dennis Allen's final year. So it's going to be interesting all the way around, man, as we keep it pushing. So anyway, let's jump right into it, fam. Let's hit this article right here. Shout out to my brother Kyle T at the Saints News Network and Jay Hendricks, man. Terrific people. Much love, fam. What's up, brother Mark? How you doing? T Dirty. What's happening, baby? Good to see you as well. Big ups to you guys. All right, here it is. The attendance that happened at today's camp, man. Let's get that highlighted right there. Some of the guys not spotted. Hugo Amadi, Jake Hayner, Equimius St. Brown, Bub Means, Pete Werner, Rashid Shaheed, Kendra Miller, Nick Seldaveri, Chandler Brewer just got here, man, and Trajan Jeffcoat with that horrible elbow issue. So like they're showing you that St. Brown has a hamstring. Bub Means has a leg shin issue. Pete Werner with a shoulder. Rashid hamstring. Kendra hamstring. Nick Seldaveri a calf. And there you go. So a few things popping and happening right there. And then some of the backdrop on some of that is Hayner had that absence due to the procedure done on his face to remove the rare form of cancer. Elvin Kamara had a rest day while Nate Shepard and Peyton Turner returned from the toe issues. That's good. But however, Turner did not participate in team drills. Demario Davis made an appearance to start practice. That's a positive. Seeing him back while Jalen Ford and Jawan Johnson were working off to the side. More injuries. Amadi missed practice with a groin injury, while Chandler Brewer missed with triceps injury. Dennis Allen said after practice, injuries have been more than what he's like, and he's added that at some point they have to build calls for, call us callous for the regular season. There's been more than a bit of concern as we're about to be the back half of training camp. And to be quite honest, he's absolutely right on this one, man. A lot of injuries, man, that we just like, wow, this is a lot of stuff going on right here. We don't need that. But the positive is these are just things right now that's just small time things. Like it's nothing on the level where a guy is going to miss significant amounts of time. We know that probably the more serious of these issues is Marshawn Lattimore with the hip flexor, who we've really not heard anything about so far going forward. But the word is that it's not something serious and that our guys, the starters, the impact players will be available when it counts. So there you go. All right. Anyway, let's get back into this, man. The first series of the team series, if you got the quarterback's performance, like I said, Spencer Rattler and Derek Carr, only two guys in there. Carr was 11 of 17 with a pick today. Spencer 15 of 19, doing a good job. Team series number one, first series started on the offense's 40-yard line. There was some down and distance involved here. As Derek Carr's first rep was a left sideline connection to Chris Olave. And by the way, Chris Olave has been balling, man. And a lot of people been asking the question, is Chris Olave ready to take the next step? And Chris Olave is a star, man. I mean, we knew this already, man. Don't we, who that's? We know that Chris Olave is a star already, man. The dude is ready, man. I mean, I just can't wait to see what he does. I mean, in practice, he's a natural, right? Anyway, let's get back into it. Some distance involved. Derek Carr's first rep was a left sideline connection to Chris Olave for a short game. The next play was another hookup to Olave on the left side that went for a first down. Jamal Williams had a draw on the next play for a short gain. Carr then hit Olave again for a deep left connection as he did a nice job getting open on the play. All right, next thing, Jordan Mims then got outside for a run and went for a short gain, and on the play noted that Trevor Penning had a solid rep against Isaiah Foskey, the Snowman. On the simulated 3rd and 9, Carr's pass was overthrown over the middle and picked off by Shamar Jean-Charles. Mason Tipton was in the area, and it appeared that the two were not on the same page. Spencer Rattler's first play was a screen left to James Robinson that Kaliki Hudson blew up for a loss. Landon Young had a nice rep against Cam Jordan on the play, with him coming from the opposite side. Now, Rattler hit Samson Nakua on a slant over the middle of the next play as Chase Young had a big rep against Ali Udo. James Robinson got the inside handoff on the next play that saw 3 Saints defenders stop him on a short gain. So the Saints trying to pile it up put it together, and keep it moving. All right. So anyway, this is some of it right here, fam. All right. Anyway, Rattler came back with a short hookup to Sampson again on the right side. All right, like I said, that's that. Hold on there. Yeah, to Samson Nakua on the right side, with Landon Young having a solid pass rep against him. Cam, got Mims on the next run to the left. Kaliki Hudson also stopped him with a loss. Jamal Williamson got a toss to the right. Williams got a toss to the right side that he then got popped by Minor Rice, and it looked like Nico Lalos was held on the play. Rattler connected with Mason Tipton on a tunnel screen to the right on the next play that went for a short game, but it was worth pointing out that Adam Prentice did not play. It's pointed out that job that Hannah Prentice did on the play against Rico Payton. The next play was a short hookup to the left to Kevin Radar. And on the 4th and 2 play, Rattler found Marquez Calloway on the rollout right. Play action for the nice connection. Originally had Xander Horvat underneath, but did a good job of going through the progression to get Calloway open on the play for the bigger game. Now, the second team series, most of the second series was running plays, but operated from the offense's 44-yard line. Carr's first pass was to Jamal Williams on the left side that saw Foster Monroe come in motion and put on outside and a good block on Carl Granderson. But Willie Gay had a nice hit to stop the play for a short gain. Williams got another run, this time to the right side, that had Gay there again with the hit, and Alante Taylor playing cleanup. Jordan Mims got a flip forward inside on the next play that went for a short gain due to Cam Jordan and DeMarco Jackson stopping him. Carr then tried a pass play, ended up throwing it into the dirt with Mims being the closest. Both Brian Brissy and Cam Jordan had pressure on the play. Jamal Williams got another rush attempt, but that one got to the second level with Taysom Hill playing fullback, having a nice block on Jonathan Abrams. His last play was a touch pass to Hill that went for a short gain due to Chase Young, Alante Taylor, and Monty Rice combining for the stop. Rattler's first play was a shaky one. There was a fumbled snap exchange that led to Anthony Orgy's recovery. I thought it was Shane Lemieux, but others said it was Lucas Patrick. Get it together, Lucas. The next play was a short inside zone run with James Robinson that Isaiah Foskey, the snowman, stopped. Robinson had a stretch run on the right side that Foskey and Will Harris stopped for a loss. Harris had a strong recognition before the snap to get the defense lined up properly. Rattler's first pass attempt in the series is a good back shoulder hookup to A.T. Perry that went for 20 yards. The offense had to re-huddle, ensuring the play was a pass to Samson Nakua that was dropped after a play fake to Taysom and a rollout to the right. James Robinson got another carry inside. He bounced outside to the right that was stopped for a short loss again by Rico Payton and Isaiah Stallbird. When they got to see a little bit of the RPO action from Rattler, they saw him get a good deep connection to the right side to Cedric Wilson Jr. It was one of the best hookups of the day, but I'd be remiss in saying that Colin Saunders, Big Bink, was there for the pressure and very possible a sack. Saunders had a nice stuff on the next play, an inside zone run to Gabati, the running back, that Kaliki Hudson helped finish. The final play was another inside zone run with Jacob Cabote that got to the second level and was stopped by Kaliki Hudson. The team series 3, this put the offense starting at the 30-yard line and was working on down and distance. Their work was down the field and then flip it. So it's been a pretty positive thing, to be honest with you there, man. But let's look at here some of the sequences from those plays. Derek Carr went 3 for 4 in that series, and he had a few things. A toss left to Jordan Mims for 4 yards. Lucas Patrick put a big block on Anthony Orgy. Offensive line and linebackers don't always mix well. All right, from the Saints 34, 2nd and 6, Carr's keeper to the right side for 4 yards. Willie Gay had an angle on the play to make it a minimal gain or would be hit. All right, then it was a 3rd and 4 from the Saints 38, complete to the flat to the left. Chris Olave for 6 yards. Tyrann Matthews there. They picked up 1st and 10 now. End around the Taysom for a loss of 1. Willie Gay on the stop. A 2nd and 11. Incomplete immediate left pass intended for Jamal Williams. Brian Brissy had the pass break up at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5. Complete deep right to Chris Olave for 23 yards. Rejon Wright got burnt on the play. Good pinning rep on Foskey there. All right, then the 1st and 10. Complete flats to Jordan. Mims off to the play action for 10 yards. It was a good decision by Carr. On the next play, with nothing deep to the back across the field. The play action roll out to the left to find Mims for an easy hookup. Then in comes Spencer Rattler, who was 4 of 6. His first and 10 seen James Robinson's run to the right for 2 yards. Jordan Howden on the stop. Second and 8, complete sideline right to Mason Tipton for 6 yards. Rico Payton on the stop. Third and 2, incomplete short middle pass intended for Dalen Hawker. Jonathan Abrams right there. Fourth and 2, Jacob Cabody tossed left for 7 yards. Isaiah Foskey and Lawrence Johnson on the stop. Cabody left running and actually leaned into Kool-Aid McKinstry on the play for a truck. I don't think McKinstry was expecting that, but that's what Jacob Cabody does. He is a north-south power runner and probably one of the angriest runners the Saints have right now, to be honest with you. All right, and then the next play. Seeing the defense there from the 49, first and 10, James Robinson run to the right for no gain. Isaiah Stallbird and Christian Boyd was there. Second and 10, complete to the flats to the right with Kevin Austin Jr., Rico Payton there for a 9 yards play pickup. Kabady's run outside left, stopped by a loss on the next play, and then the coaches moved the ball. Okay, first and 10, there was an incomplete pass deep left intended for Callaway with Shamar Jean-Charles on the stop. All right, second and 10, Cabody runs for 1 yard gain with Kendall Vickers on the stop. Third and 9, a complete inside pass to James Robinson for a pickup of 5 yards of Rajon Wright and Willie Gay on the stop. So it brings up 4th and 4. It was a complete deep left completion to Mason Tipton with Mac McCain there. This was the big play and connection, especially for Rattler to deliver on the 4th down. So that was good. Team Series 4, which is probably the end series right there for the black and gold. Derek Carr in there. He went from the 30-yard line, complete short right to Jamal Williams for 4 yards. Taylor on the stop. Complete underneath on the next play for Jamal Williams for 10 yards. Kool-Aid and Jonathan Abrams on the stop. The following play was a complete pass on a slant left to the right to Taysom for 6 yards. Jordan Howden's there. An incomplete pass intended for Chris Olave on the next play. And then, of course, another incomplete short right pass to Jordan Mims. It wasn't even close. Not very accurate throwing by Carr in the drill. Then the next play followed by a complete pass deep to the middle to Chris Olave for 17 yards. Tyrann Mathieu was in the vicinity on the play. All right, so that's a couple of them. And then here's a few more. When Rattler came in, he did better. He was 3 of 4 in the series. A complete sideline pass to Dalen Hawker for 5 yards. Rico Payton on the stop. The next play, seen a completion to the right to Michael Jacobson, the backup tight end for 10 yards. Rod Teamer on the stop. All right, and the following play, a complete deep right pass to Jacobson for 19 yards. Nico Lalos was there to push him out. And then, of course, he came with an incomplete pass on the next one. It was a sharp middle throw intended for Dalen Hawker. Didn't make the connection. 2 runs inside by James Robinson followed next, 1 for 6, 1 for 2. And then Blake Grupe came in to try to kick a field goal from 46 yards out. No good. Hit the left upright. All right. So anyway, that's some of the stuff right now. And this is to talk about some of the lanyard. Shout out to John Hendricks. He broke down some of the lanyard. He mentioned that Spencer Rattler, Dennis, what Dennis Allen said about Spencer Rattler. We just heard that. Rattler said it feels good out there, but there's room to improve. We'll play that in a minute. Saints used the dime package, looking to walkthroughs that put Cam Jordan on the interior. He had some plays in team where they used him as both the left and right defensive tackle. There you go. You see that, fam? That's good. On the dime, Cam playing inside is that rebuilt, that tooled up NASCAR package that we like to talk about, right? Cam sliding in a dime. It's something to monitor, but it was Carl Grandison, Brian Brissy, Jordan, and Chase Young all out there at once. That's the NASCAR package. Let me say it again. Carl Grandison, Brian Brissy, Cam Jordan, and Chase Young. No Bink Saunders. How about that for you? Blake Grupe, 41 to 48 in training camp so far. Luke Headley, punting days, still looking good out there, kicking them. A lot of high punts there. He talks about Matt Hayball kicking style and which the trajectory and the style of punt changes. Fun to see. Saints worked out some more kick returners there. There are some times when they were fielding the ball. Has been a challenge in the return game. They've worked on some trickery, had some botched exchanges a couple of times, but we did see throwback from Taysom Hill to Alante Taylor on the other side. That would have been a fun play to see play out in the game. Competition has been the big point of emphasis during training camp. The defense has been playing up on a level. Dennis said after practice he think there's another gear to the defense. One thing we saw in drills for the defense was the line going up and down off the snap, which Allen throwing the pass up in the air designated safety to work on the returns. It's one of those things that I feel like is common knowledge, but also we really haven't seen much before. But the offense and defense is working on the sideline awareness and timing, and that's what it's saying. So this is pretty good for the Saints. And, of course, a little information for tomorrow. The Saints will have a rest day on Tuesday, so no black and gold practice on Tuesday, and we'll be back for Wednesday and Thursday ahead of their preseason matchup against the Cardinals on Saturday. So at any time, probably Wednesday or so, or Wednesday, I'm thinking probably those games, those practice sessions against the Arizona Cardinals are going to happen after Wednesday. Maybe I checked Arizona's schedule. Of course, Dennis Allen didn't really speaking too much on it, saying anything about the practices, kind of keeping it tight-lipped. But perhaps those are going to be Thursday and Friday practices. I did check Arizona Cardinals, went to their side of things to see what their practice schedule looked like. Those days for Thursday and Friday are considered open days. So is that reserved for Saints practice? I don't know, but we'll know very soon. All right. So anyway, there we go on that. Let's move on to some more information here before we get to Spencer Rattler's interview. Fam, how about this one? Shout out to John Sigler. Saints looking into linebacker depth with 3 tryouts today. The Saints had some linebacker tryouts today, right? Saints have been looking into reinforcing at various positions this offseason, including the wide receiver, tight end, and most recently linebacker. Injuries during training camp have been immense, and with starters missing a little bit of time, filling out the rotation for early preseason and training camps is a necessity. So according to Nick, the Saints took a look at linebackers today, working out 3 on Monday. While none of them have been signed as of right now, here's a quick look at some of the ones that will try it out. Tell me if you recognize any of these guys. Easton Gibbs, never heard of him ever before. Easton Gibbs, 6 foot tall, 232-pound linebacker out of Wyoming, who relatively strong NFL draft scouting combine performance. And, he ended with a 4.73 second 40-yard dash, 6.98 second 3-cone drill, 20 bench reps, and 9'8" broad jump highlights. He had extremely productive sophomore and junior seasons in college, pulling up this stat line here. Last year, putting up in 13 games, 109 total tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 6 pass deflections, 2 forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. The year prior, he had 121 total tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, a pass deflection, 1 fumble recovery, 1 fumble forced, and a touchdown. Gibbs ended up going undrafted in 2024 and was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Seahawks May the 3rd. However, July 18, he was placed on the active non-football injury or illness list, which would lead to him being released July the 31st. Ultimately, he has the production throughout college and the physical traits to make an impact, so he could be an intriguing piece if signed by the Saints. I'm going to have to look this guy up, man, because those stats look pretty telling. That sounds like a football player right there. Doubled 100-plus tackles in the last 2 years, with the prior year 121 tackles. That's 200-plus tackles in 2 years. That sounds like a football player, fam. All right, let's go on to the next one. Jordan Konasek. I hope I said that right. Konasek. All right, Jordan Konasek, I guess, is a 6'3", 235-pound linebacker from California. He posted a 4.67 relatively athletic score, or RAS, back in 2019. Konasek has played for 3 teams in his career and has been signed as an undrafted free agent by the Panthers. He spent the 2019 season with the Panthers, 2021 and from 2020 to 21 with the Washington football team, and then the 22-23 season with the Browns. He played primarily a strong role in special teams, garnering anywhere between 59 to 82% of special team snaps. However, he's also received 157 defensive snaps total for the Browns, which indicates he may see more of the defensive role soon. He did start 2 games last year for the Browns, which is a positive sign to show he could be a minimal special teams asset to help out the young linebackers. Okay, he doesn't seem quite like as exciting as the first guy. And then this other guy, Mike Rose, I have to watch out for him. You know, we like to look at Kansas City people. All right, Mike Rose fits into the stereotypical Saints athletics score realm with an RAS of 9.07 and coming in at 6'3", 245 pounds. He was Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year in 2020, a two-time first-team All Big 12 in 2020 and 21. Rose signed with the Chiefs in 22 as an undrafted free agent, then moved on to the St. Louis Battlehawks to play out the season before trying out with the Dolphins in 23 and returning to the Battlehawks for the season. While he's not had an NFL opportunity on the roster beyond training camp, he has performed well at the collegiate level and has the athletic traits to be an intriguing depth player for your New Orleans Saints. So that's a very interesting dude, man. You have to look up Mike Rose. All right, that might be a player. See, the Saints doing some due diligence. Here's the current linebacker injuries at training camp right now. That's kind of promoting the Saints looking at some of these people. As of right now, there have been 3 linebacker injuries as of note in Saints camp, which are Demario Davis, Pete Werner, and Jalen Ford. Davis was dealing with a hamstring injury. Werner, a shoulder situation. Ford has not practiced since July the 31st with an unspecified injury after missing most of the spring due to a sports hernia surgery. These 3 injuries as well, these are all crucial as to 2 presuming starting caliber players, and the other is the 2024 draft pick for the Saints. This has created the need for linebacker depth, as even if all become clear within a short time period. This is just precautionary, and it's good to have backups to work with in camp and, prove challenging to the offense. Active depth chart and the injuries. As of right now, this is what it looks like. Will linebacker 1, Pete Werner, shoulder issue. Demario Davis, hamstring issue, did play. Sam position with Willie Gay there is no problem at all. Then you see Kaliki Hudson, DeMarco Jackson, Anthony Argy, Isaiah Stallbird, Monty Rice, and you see Jalen Ford there at the bottom with that unspecified injury. But like I said, when injuries pop up, guys have to step up. And you've seen guys step up in place of some of these other guys. You've seen DeMarco Jackson step it up and been making some plays. You've seen Anthony Argy step it up and been making some plays. And then you've seen Isaiah Stallbird today stepping up and make some plays. Monty Rice doing a few things. So guys, step it up, man. You got to step it up when guys start going down. It's your time. That's what depth charts are there for. Sometimes it's a physical game. People get hurt, and you got to step up and step out. All right, so let's keep it twisting and turning, fam, as the Saints did. Guess what? The Saints did put out their first unofficial depth chart. They put it out, man, and it's similar to the one that I've been putting up here by, ourlads.com. And they've been putting theirs up, but shout out to Nick Underhill. He tweeted it out. And of course, you can see what they have here, and this is their unofficial depth chart that the Saints created. That has Derek, just to go off of the starters currently, Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, and they got Adam Prentice as the first fullback, and then of course they'll change this Tali Fuaga, Lucas Patrick at the left guard, McCoy, Ruiz, and Penning. The wide receivers is Chris Olave there, and Rashid Shaheed. And then of course you go to the backups, and it shows pretty much everybody, man. So, and the guys in the red are guys that are, as marked up. I think those are the pup list guys. I know Tanu is on that pup list. I think Juwan Johnson's on it for a little bit. I don't remember if Juwan's on it. You remind me in the chat. I know Nephi Sewell. Those guys are listed in red there. I know Juwan eventually is going to come up off of that list and do some stuff. Maybe not too much passing you probably later on in the year, if anything, and Nephi Sewell later on. He's another big deal too. All right, and then of course the defense you look at with Carl Granderson, or it got Chase Young, Colin Saunders, Nate Shepard, and then Cam at the left defensive end, Pete Werner, Demario Davis, and Willie Gay listed there. And it basically sets up a 4-3 look here. And then you have Paulson Adebo, Lattimore, Jordan Howdens at the strong safety position, and Tyrann Mathieu. Then off to the back, you see the rest of the guys, and it goes on and on like that there. But if you want to see that, y'all can kind of zoom in. I think this is the best I can do, but this is the Saints' first unofficial depth chart that the team actually released, which is a positive to kind of see what they think about what's going on with the black and gold. All right, let's keep it moving on to the next one, to the next article here. Just a update for some of the family members that might not know. What about John Gruden? The John Gruden update. Well, here we go. Ex-Raider coach John Gruden, decked out in red, visited the Kansas City Chiefs camp on last Sunday. That's right. Chucky, long link to the Saints, was at at Chiefs camp with Andy. All right, 30 years ago, Chiefs had Andy Reid with the Green Bay Packers, worked alongside John Gruden, who would later serve 2 stints as the Raiders coach, a friendship which was formed with Reid and Gruden were assistants under Mike Holmgren. He says, we were both young and we were able to learn a ton from a great coach. Reid told reporters back in 2018 about their time with the Raiders. John and I spent a lot of time together along with Steve Mariucci. We were the youngest guys on the staff. We were all kind of bonded and we did our thing. We did a lot of the gopher work, which we loved. Great learning experience and great foundation to build on. We had a blast with that stuff. We could find what or design what. We had a blast with that. He's a creative mind, so you got to stay on your A game when you're hanging with him. Gruden, who also is known best for his time with the silver and black, ditched those colors on Sunday when he was seen in St. Joseph, Missouri, wearing Chiefs red. That's because Gruden was at training camp where he watched the Raiders, former rivals, prepare to go for a 3rd straight Super Bowl title. Hey, who knows? Maybe Gruden suggesting some plays for Reid to run in the offense. And, of course, you can see right there, old Chucky standing up there with Kansas City red on, and that shouldn't be much of a surprise because we've seen a similar situation occur here a couple of times when Coach Chucky came down here, according to reports, to help the Saints set up the offense. Boy, did that go wrong. Oh my goodness, that we thought that was gonna help. And you know the thing about it, the Saints did everything they could, man, to really help Derek Carr early on the transition to the season. They come to think about it, all the stuff that they were doing, they brought in Gruden to kind of help him get the vision for it. And boy, it took 3 months? I mean, it took, man. You didn't really see anything to the last month of football, to be honest with you. The last month of football, you really seen lights go on, and that's because they all collectively worked together. The running game started to work, and then the play action started to work, and that's when play action Carr got in his bag. And that's all I want to see. Play at this stage of his career, not saying he's done for, but I love play action Carr. That is the dude that you want to see. Play action Carr. All right. So anyway, fam, let's get on back here. Let's get to and listen to the Rattler himself. Spencer, here we go.
Spencer, where do you think your biggest strides have been since the spring?
I just think getting chemistry with the guys, obviously getting reps and just getting comfortable with everything, feel great. Gotten a lot of reps, a lot of practices under my belt, so feel good. And still a lot of room to improve.
Does maybe feel like your timing is a bit better than it is? That an accurate statement or
everything? Everything feels better. We continue to strive for perfection, knowing you'll never get there, but just grinding out and stacking these days.
The 2-minute drive, you got to be happy with that, right? To get hit on the 4th down, you get them in field goal range. You got to be happy with what you did late in this practice, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel all practice, we were happy with what we did. But yeah, 2-minute drives are crucial, especially end of the game 2-minute drives. And we were happy we can convert on that one.
It looks like you're getting pretty comfortable out here. Where do you feel like you're at within the offense, kind of grasping kind of everything?
I feel great. I feel comfortable. I feel confident out there, and I think as a quarterback, you have to be. All our guys. It starts with Eric, and he does a great job. And I just try to follow the lead, push him, pushes me, and Jake as well. So just love being out here, competing with our guys.
What did you do during the break from when you came to the training camp? What was kind of the focus for you?
I was back in Arizona, training with my QB coach, Mike Giovando, just cleaning up fundamentals and working on little things that we noticed in spring ball OTAs and stuff, and really improved in some of those areas, and then came back and got right back to work.
What were those areas? What did you notice in those areas that you cleaned up?
Oh, just very small things, footwork wise, false steps, little punch steps in your drive, not getting too much depth, maintaining that circle in the pocket, not hitching too much, just little minute things that can add up though, to negative plays and can add up, and you got to control that and avoid that.
That attention to details, a young guy, like where does that come from?
Since I was a kid, just always wanted to be the best, in whatever I do. So always just focusing on how can I make myself better, how can I get better, and I think that's how you got to be.
Have you been in an offense that does the things that this offense is doing? And how would you describe this offense, from your perspective?
Yeah, I was lucky to have a system like this at South Carolina. Obviously, not to the level of this. What Clint is doing is amazing. As you guys know, his resume is great. And but a lot of the verbiage is the same, a lot of motion, stuff like that. But this is just a level up. Obviously, a lot more volume of things. And we get great looks on every play. I feel like, and we have answers. So once you get it under your belt, I don't have everything under my belt, but I feel great. You can get rolling.
When you say what Clint is doing is amazing, like what part of what he's doing strikes you? What do you see that amazes you?
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to play to the guy's strengths. We got a lot of playmakers, a lot of guys that can go out, get the ball in their hand, and do something serious with it. We got good quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. I mean, he knows how to get guys open, scheme stuff up, and does a great job.
Do you enjoy how much this offense kind of puts you on the move, on the bootlegs?
Love it. It's that's one of my favorite parts. If you can get out of that pocket, get on the move, I think that's super beneficial.
I mean,
you just got more options. You can tuck in and run. You got a flat. You got usually three levels, and then you always got a chance to run it yourself.
What was your official ruling on whether you got that pass off today?
Oh, I for sure got it off. I for sure got it off.
Did you take a swim with brother? What did you see, and how did you kind of find your way back there?
Yeah, it was a play action pass. Just trying to hit a little deep slant, little drift route. They fell under it, got some pressure, kind of faded to my right, went to my second and third read, and Cedric was wide open. Shout out to Tipton for clearing it out, and it was a big play, big touchdown.
Is that something you feel like you're processing a lot faster now, just going through your reads?
You can say so. I feel good getting through my progression, getting to your third and fourth read, but I'm a rookie. I haven't played in a live game yet. Obviously, you want to try to get that ball out on your first or second read, but if you need to get back to 3, 4, sometimes 5, you have to.
How do you want to trust in Jacobson just from see what you like about his game?
We had a good week this week. He had a good week. I feel like last week, the week before, I missed him on a few, set up 1 or 2. Missed him long one, but this week we connected well in 7-ons and team in crucial moments. So he's just a big target, smart guy, knows where to be, and plays fast.
His basketball background helps out.
I think if you were a multi-sport athlete, I play basketball as well. It helps with everything, especially in this game.
How do you decide when to run? Obviously, you want to show up your decision making even more, even though you probably can get more throws up if you don't. But what's the decision process there?
I mean, in today's game, you have to be able to run. The defenses are good; they can cover up a lot of stuff. That pocket shuts down. I'm not trying to be in there too long. I got a clock in my head. When I see daylight, I'm gonna go. I'll take the fine.
He got a clock in his head. Never heard that from Derek Carr. But I got a clock in my head. That's yes. You don't have all that. You don't have all the time in the world. Young man got a clock in his head. That's good.
I'm not trying to be in there too long. I got a clock in my head. When I see daylight, I'm gonna go.
Oh boy!
I'll take the fine.
Especially the first preseason game.
Oh, it's awesome. Excited to go back home. Excited, got a lot of people coming out, so it should be fun.
How many people do you know yet?
A lot of people. It's going to be a good time.
Have you played this since high school?
No, this will be my first time going back since high school. Yep.
Oh, just in terms of the competition, Jake, when you guys rotate, like one day you're with the 2s, the other day with your 3s, like, how do you kind of compartmentalize that and say, all right, I don't have to show out with the 2s today, I just have to keep doing everything I'm doing, or do you see like, all right, today I'm with the 2s, I have to make an impression? How do you kind of
I try to show out every day. Play my best ball every single day. 2s, 3s, doesn't matter to me. I try to play my best ball, cleanest ball, get the ball to the playmakers, make some throws.
How does it feel like a cheat code when you get reps with the Olave out there?
Dude, it's different. I make it a key point when he's in, get him the ball. It's that simple.
Thank
I appreciate you guys.
Talk, boy!
All right, shout out to Spencer Rattler, man. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Spencer said he got a clock in his head. He don't want to hang back there too long. Hey, man. Brother John, you wrong for this. He says Carr just gets clocked in the head. But hey, listen, man. Covering the black and gold this year, and like we know that the QB position is a prima donna position. We do realize and know that. So when we see that, it's not even Jake Haener, because a lot of the family members got love for Jake Haener, but the Rattler has something different. He's He is different. It's a different energy around Spencer Rattler, right? I see it. Y'all see it. And a lot of people like Q, we want Spencer Rattler. We want him to start. I'm like, no, dog. The only way Spencer Rattler start is if you got major problems at the QB position. Derek Carr would have to be so bad that they would bench him. And if they did bench him, it depends on the backup job. And the backup job, as of right now, is still in competition. There has not. It's a good spot right now because Jake Hayner's playing really well, right? And by the way, shout out to Nick Underhill. He just put this little giblet of information out here that Jake Hayner posted on his Instagram that he's, quote, back to it, end quote. Sounds like things went well today with his procedure, and he'll return to practice Wednesday after the day off. So shout out to Jake Hayner. Thank you, Nick, for that scoop. But that's something that we talked about, man. Like the backup QB position is a position that that is still very much there. It's still much a competition. It's not set in stone that Jake Hayner will be that guy. But what's really interesting is the fact that the Saints, and I said this last stream, the Saints cut Nate Peterman. Now, listen, we knew eventually Peterman would have got the big scissors, but I didn't expect it to be this early before one preseason game was played. Usually you kind of wait a bit, throw everybody in there to see what you got. You see, because Jake Hayner, he got a couple of years. It's his second year. Spencer's a rookie. So if something happened to Derek Carr, what would the Saints do? Now, knowing that how we know the team so well, the Saints can start doing a bunch of Taysom type plays, and mix a guy in there and do some Taysom kind of crap. But what I like about it is the fact the Saints are showing confidence in both these guys. That's something that you can't take away from it. Nate Peterman was supposed to be the veteran backup here, that if something was to happen, you got a reliable NFL veteran, according to the logic of how the Saints are looking at it. But with him gone and off the roster, and they cut him for Samson Nakua, who is not really a speedster, but he's a big receiver that is making some really nice catches, man. The guy, I don't know where he is so far on the depth chart. It's still very early on with all of the injuries and guys trying to get back in time during the preseason to kind of jostle for position there. A lot of young people there, and Samson is a guy that is made a few plays. I've seen some footage of him doing his thing. Don't know where that is. We'll see. But it's a very positive thing to see Spencer Rattler and Jake Hayner in a competition for the backup job. Now, listen, that's not saying that Spencer can't outduel Jake for the second spot. That's not saying that at all, because he could very well do it if he puts on enough, right? If he shows enough and he kind of can distance himself from Jake Hayner, that he could most certainly step up and become the second guy. But he got to show some stuff. And a lot of the energy around Spencer is because of the family members, the supporters, because they're gravitating towards Spencer versus Carr. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people, I've seen articles of people try to write articles talking about the supporters. I don't say fans. I say the supporters of the team has an issue with Derek Carr or whatever, or they don't like Carr. They're not being fair to Derek Carr, all this kind of nonsense. Man, shut up. The man is getting what he give. They're not wrong. And people are not everybody out there crazy. You got some people that's out of their goddamn mind. Yes, indeed. But that's not the majority of the great Saint think tank that I talk to. That's why there is the great Saint think tank, because there's think in there somewhere. It's think in there somewhere, and they know they're basing it upon what they seen last year from Derek Carr that rubbed them the wrong way. It's some things he did last year that rubbed the support base the wrong way. They did. And some people like, man, listen, we done gave this guy a chance and I just don't feel like he's the guy. And I get that. And, you know, like I said, man, there's a lot of stuff the Saints got to show to who that nation, man. That's why I've been on my Glenn Jones, man, hitting y'all with that Glenn Jones, man, because they got to step up, especially, like I said, Spencer's a guy, Jake Hayner is a very good young quarterback. We know he's scrappy, but he does realize the energy of what's behind him with Spencer Rattler. And that's why he's bragging this A game. So he went studied under Chucky. And now he's here doing his thing. But Spencer, it's an open competition between these guys. They both been dueling pretty well. And right now, Jake Hayner is just ahead of Spencer Rattler, according to different reports. They believe that Jake is ahead of Spencer. So, but that could change over the next 3 weeks. We'll see. We'll be watching it very closely because it's one of the camp battles that's pretty good. Now, you know, we talk about the Pete Werner and the Willie Gay battle. That's kind of lost its luster because the Saints are employing more of the 43 look, which would field 3 linebackers, which then kind of changes the dynamic. You see, if they were more not, and they'll use more of the modified nickel look than anything, but knowing that the Saints have an intention of using the 43 defense, you know, as an alternative, that also kind of takes the luster off the QB battle between Willie Gay and Pete Werner. Now, any other battles that out there you can think about, but those are 2 of the far and few. Now, there's still a battle at the left guard position with Lucas Patrick, Nick Devery, Shane Lemieux, Ali Udo. You know, that's an actual battle because that is an open starter spot. That is an open starter spot. Jake and Spencer, that's a backup QB spot. The linebacker I just told y'all about. And then, of course, the only really relevant battle for a starting spot that the Saints have is on the offense, and it's with all those guys that I mentioned you, that most of them just are either inexperienced, they're so far young career backups who get in there and play reps every now and again, stuff like that. So even though it's not lackluster, it's like a bright spotlight when you talk about Spencer or Jake, but it's still a very important spot, fam. You know, I would caution the Saints too, man, to look at a left guard or a guard once preseason is over with. The moment preseason ends, and it's the time frame between the end of preseason and the start of the regular season, right then you need to be seeing if you can find a veteran guard that still has a lot of starter in them, that'll be there for the right price, and perhaps you can bring him in here to kind of help, because Nick Devery got to get it together. A lot of people like Devery, but he missing a lot of time, man. We know that calf injury has been hampering him, and you really don't need that if you're an inexperienced offensive lineman, man. You got to get it up. You got to go. All right. So anyway, big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Lewis says, you're right about the energy is something intangible that's more important with a QB. Yeah, it's a diva position, man. It's the diva position, man. Everybody loves a quarterback, especially like Spencer, because a lot of people look, when they first seen Spencer Rattler, like he has a lot of, and this is the thing, I don't know if I remember seeing a quarterback that the Saints picked up in recent memory that was a drafted quarterback that comes in with the intangibles. The guy got a strong arm. He got a pair of wheels on him. He can move around. He's a guy at one time was the nation's best quarterback before he had the little snafu that happened. And he was on a trajectory. He was on the same trajectory as the kid from the Chicago Bears until something happened. And then he went down here. Now, he already admitted that he playing with a chip on his shoulder because he felt he should have been higher in the draft. He felt like he did enough to be a lot higher in the draft. So a 5th round draft pick quarterback, chip on his shoulder, have all the attributes of a top quarterback in a system that's supposed to be a QB friendly system with all of the things around him. It'll be interesting The only thing is, by the time Spencer gets ready to have an impact on the QB room, what kind of team do you have? What kind of team do you have? Because be very well, what kind of team you have when this kid's ready to go. You get what I'm saying? But it's still a battle. I don't want to disrespect Jake Haener because he's still going to battle out with Spencer Rattler. So we'll see, man. Me personally, when I seen Spencer get picked up, it was another quarterback that I would say, oh, man, I thought that the other quarterback that I like, had a higher upside than Spencer Rattler. I liked his game better for the Saints. But I'm not mad at Spencer Rattler. He does have the talent there. And when he finally puts it all together, what kind of team will be here when he's ready? You see? That'll be interesting. All right. So anyway, big ups to you guys. Appreciate y'all being here. I'm not going to hold you very long, man. We're just over an hour right now. If you guys have any questions, please exponentially throw them in the chat and I'll answer them before I dirk on out of here. And of course, tomorrow we'll be on Patreon. We'll be talking about the Saints camp, and we'll be going over a few people for Saints camp for our Patreon family members tomorrow, Patreon Tuesday. A lot of content, a lot of stuff going on our Patreon stream. All right, so big ups. If you want to join that, join the YouTube channel or go to the patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. The links are in the description section below. So big ups to you guys and thank you kindly. All right, Julius says, I think Peterman knew he would never enter an NFL game ever again, but he wants to be a coach or something. They put him in the street for Samson Nakua. I was like, wow, that's a big vote of confidence, fam. Like I said, man, it might not sound like nothing, but that was the most veteran quarterback that you had that they felt comfortable with. And they put that guy in the street for a guy that probably might not even make the wide receiver. He might end up at the practice squad. That's a big, big vote of confidence for these two young QBs. Tuck says, I'm not much different than Kirk Cousins. You pair a guy, doesn't make him the guy. I don't know. Yeah, they paid Kirk Cousins is the guy for Atlanta. And they did pick up the backup because of injuries, because it's a what you call it? It's a security mechanism. It's a security mechanism. When that happened, now everybody was upset. Like, what y'all upset for? This freaking guy got hurt. Now he got the potential to be healthy, but then again, what if he gets hurt again? Then who do you have? You go back to what, the liquor guy? What's his name? Heineke? You go back to him? Ball would away. So that they knew that Kirk Cousins, is an older quarterback that's on his last few years in the NFL before he gets out. If he's coming off a major injury, and they picked up a guy that they believed in that can be the future of the team. Now, yes, he's older, but this is a guy that his curve is a lot shorter than some quarterbacks. And let me tell you something, when Kirk Cousins get out of the way, that guy going to be there, and that's who you're going to have to deal with. And let me tell you something, that dude's going to be good for them people. Some of them don't have the vision, but I'm telling you, that guy's going to be good. I was watching that guy in college. That guy's mature. That guy can make all the throws. He's accurate. He's intelligent. He had all those injuries that he worked through, which means he was a fighter to get through it, to get where he is. Respect the hell out of that. That's why I said this guy on the screen is more than likely going to be battling with that guy. So imagine games where Penix Jr. going against Rattler or Haener or whoever the future QB is going to be. All right. Yeah, it's one of those things. Julius says Carr is perfect guy to transition one of these young guys. Thank you, bro. Lewis says there's just never been a flow culturally or on the field with Allen and Carr. Winning can help, but everyone is more interested in seeing what's up with Kubiak and the backup QBs. Indeed. What about the 34 says Gardner? Well, Dr. Gardner, I don't, they didn't necessarily mention that early on, like in his first year early on, but that has not been something that he's been serious about running the 34 defense. You got to have a fourth linebacker. Do the Saints have a fourth linebacker that's good enough to join those guys? I mean, you got some of these other young guys there, but I don't know. But I don't think they're going to do too much on the 34. That'll be interesting, though. Jack says, imagine going from Superdome chanting Winston, now Rattler. Carr better get off to a quick Star. Thank you. 504 Coach says Rattler upside is way greater than Hayner. It is. It's true. True. Hey, no lie about it. You're absolutely right. He's leading right now, but Spencer does have all the intangibles. And Jake Hayner is, we knew this when we drafted him. Jake Hayner doesn't have a big arm, but he's accurate. He doesn't have the wheels. He can move around and get out of harm's way, but he's not the most athletic guy out of there. Usually when you have players that are limited, he's not a big quarterback. He don't have a big gun for an arm and stuff like that. But usually when you have players like that who lack that athleticism like that, they're usually very cunning. They use this more because this is the equalizer to the athleticism, and that's how they make it. So Jake Hayner does have a high football IQ. He does understand the principles, and he does what he could do. Now, if Spencer Rattler put it all together and he has a high IQ too, and once he puts it all together, he can damn sure shoot past Jake Hayner. There's no, damn sure, yeah. If you give right, he has stuff that Jake Hayner can only pray for. You know, his athletic ability and all this other stuff. They were two different places in terms of potential, no doubt about it. What's up, Rodney? Shout out to you. Who that to you, brother? Appreciate you. What's up, Queen Dana? She says, I think Hayner will win, but Rattler definitely got it next year. Indeed. That's what I'm saying. We ain't good. Either one of these guys are good. Jack says trade Juwan Johnson for a guard. Okay. All right. Hayner's a practice player. Rattler built to do this. He was shine. See, a lot of people loving on Hayner, man. I mean, Rattler. I get it. Divine said, what's up, bro? Says quarterbacks can't get hit at practice. Take it easy on healthy quarterback room talk. Yes, indeed. All right. Come on, man. There you go, OG. All right. Tim says stands in the pocket also. Yeah, he said he got a clock in his head, has to speed it up. Yeah, no, it wasn't the two-lane QB, Jack. It wasn't the two-lane QB I was thinking about that I want. Yeah, it was Jordan Travis. That's who I liked. You know, that's the guy that I like, Jordan Travis. And I was saying, man, and I think Jordan Travis, where did he go? He went later than Jordan had. Philly picked him up. Philly always, that's weird because every time I talk about something like that, Philadelphia always pick these people up, man. It's weird. They did the same thing when I was talking about Jalen Hurts. And all this stuff about Jalen Hurts, he's not a passer of the ball and all this Jalen Hurts, this crap and all that. He's going to be a second round, third round quarterback. And I was saying, man, what the hell are these people talking about? And then Philly picks him up and Philly does some things. They were doing pretty good. Then he got hurt. Then they kind of had this offensive tail off stuff that was happening between the offensive coach. Then they changed it. But man, we have not been able to beat Philadelphia when Jordan Hurts is the quarterback. We seem to have issues with him. Hopefully we could take care of business against this team this year. Hopefully we got the offensive personnel to be able to do something with this kid, you know, because we did beat him, but that Jordan Hurts was hurt and we faced Gardner Minshew and he was terrible in that game. He was awful. I still can't believe the Raider people paid Jordan Minshew all that money, man. I was like, why they giving Gordon, what's his name? Minshew, whatever the hell his name. Why they paying? He got paid with Oakland, Las Vegas. I'm like, man, why they gave that dude all that money? That dude ain't worth all that money. What's wrong with y'all? That dude is not worth all that money. 504 Code says, Q, do you think Rattler's ceiling is just as high as Penix? No. Yeah, it is higher than Penix. It is higher than Penix. Because Penix is an older quarterback. Penix is a little early, like when they would talk about his age. Yeah, he's older. Yeah, he's an older guy because he developed. Like it's a lot of these college guys. Because remember, he went through all those injuries and he went back. Got hurt, he went back. He went back and he got as much college as he possibly can. Developed a lot in college. And then you see his game look really mature. That ain't no surprise. Look at the same thing, similar, except for all the injuries, what happened to Mims. Now, what's his name? Not Mims. What's the kid name from that Sean Payton picked up? Put it in the chat, fam. I forgot the kid name. I can see his face. I just can't think about his name. I've been missing on these some of these young players lately, man. What's going on with me, man? I'm gonna have to take some of my. I had to get it. I had to start taking some more of my black seed oil, man. Shit, I'm dripping. All right, but yeah, man, but that guy ate up as he stayed in college and wait and use every hour of the day to get to get his stuff going, you know. Well, he did everything he can to get his ass there. Yeah, Bo Nix. Thank you, Bo Nix. Bo Nix took every advantage. He stayed in college and ate up as much time as he could playing quarterback. And then he comes out and he looks crisp and all that stuff because he took as much time as he can in college. It's similar to Michael Penix. So yes, absolutely. Rattler's ceiling is a lot higher than Michael Penix Jr. Penix is one of those guys that had a lot of experience and you can see it. But Spencer definitely has a higher ceiling in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I'm black and gold and they the Falcons. I'm being honest. English says I've been off the grid queue. Why hasn't Kamara? He said, why? Kamara had a rest day today, bro. Yeah, he had a rest day today. All right, Eternity says, quick start, but we play the Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs starting off. Just play good enough. Win 2 of the 5 games to start. Indeed, this is quite the gauntlet, man. T-Roy says, can we really win a division this year? Yeah, you can. You can. You can. You really can. Just picture if the Saints had if they had Clint Kubiak last year. What's the difference, Q, between Clint Q? Because it's the thing. These coaches, and I'm not trying to I'm going to try to wrap it up at hour and 30. I got about another 10 minutes or so and I'll wrap it up. But it's a difference. Like if we had Clint Kubiak last year and you wouldn't have all of the stuff that was going on. Like, for instance, Pete Carmichael was not checking Derek Carr on the fact that he wasn't progressing. He wasn't going through the checkdowns. Through the progressions. He wasn't going left to right or right to left. He wasn't spanning. He would look and get stuck and stare. And I'm not just saying that when I do the play-by-play, and then I came back with the Patreon specials when we break down the all 22. It was showing. I would show family members. I was showing because with the all 22 film, you can see everything. You can see what he sees to his left. You can see what he sees from his right. You can see what's up the middle. You can see everybody. You can see what the receiver opposite of him is doing. And then you can see his head. You can see where he's looking. You can see it very clearly. And there were times when that dude would just stare to the left and guy is running wide open or one-on-one with no safety support. Throw that goddamn ball up there. Throw it up there. That's what Jameis would do. Jameis would know Jameis. And that's the thing about Jameis. Jameis would trust those wide receivers. He would throw the ball out there and let them run up under. He says, I'll give you a chance to make a play. That's what he would do. But if you see, and that's the thing, it shouldn't require you to think that much. The moment you see the safety come down and you got Chris Olave or Rashid Shaheed with that speed and that ability, put that goddamn ball up there. Put it up out there. And that's his best throw. Now, I remember last year, the guy, he really couldn't throw that ball like that because they shot him up. He didn't have a feel for the ball, so the ball would sail. And they don't want to talk about that. Like, you can literally see that. If you watch the footage, Derek Carr was trying to throw the ball when he was pumped up on painkiller. He didn't have the feel in his hand. And I don't fault Derek Carr. Derek Carr was out there trying to do something, but he shouldn't have been out there at all under them circumstances. It was not right. It was unhealthy for them to do him that. And I've been saying that. I was like, dude, they did him wrong to do him like that because you really didn't need to do it to him. It wasn't like you had rookies behind Derek Carr. You had a veteran who you could utilize. But yeah, it was times where Derek Carr was staring out. He was staring out on the field a lot. And then the miscommunication happened for the first 3 months of the season. 4, 8, 12, 12, 4, 8, 12. 12 games, 3 months of the season. It was constant miscommunications. Constant, I'm throwing to the left, you coming inside. I'm going out, you coming in. Is the ball up here? The guy, I remember several times Juwan Johnson jumping the ball 2 feet above his outstretched hands. I seen it. Remember it happened to Jimmy Graham. I used to say on the play-by-play, who the hell Derek Carr throwing to? Wilt Chamberlain? Because that's who it would have been needed to catch that goddamn ball he threw. But all that was because of that. And then still remember they was lying about it the whole time and didn't tell you until 2 weeks before the season ended that he actually had those injuries. Just remember that too. Just to let you remember that, because they lie their asses off. I'm telling them, keeping it real. It's my squad. But I'm going to tell you, I got to keep it 100, 1,000. 100, what I say, 115, that's what it will. T-Roy says, can we win? Yeah, we can win, bro. We can win. I say all that to say that a lot of that wouldn't have been the same way. Like those decisions could have changed and happened in wins. Things would have been different, especially in certain games where the Saints were ahead. We could have won. The Detroit game, the Saints should have won that Detroit game. They were down a lot and then came back and had the momentum in the first play of the fourth quarter. Was a dumb fumble that Detroit got, and then they, on that same possession, scored the touchdown, and that killed the momentum. The Saints was coming back to win that game and gave it up. They gave the game up doing stupid shit. But see, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, an intelligent team, which you got to have intelligent coaches there to make guys accountable for mistakes that they make. If that guy is not blocking and he missing blocks, take his ass off the field. If that guy out there not knowing which lane to run through, take his ass off the field. If that guy out there dropping passes and he dropping multiple passes, take his ass off the field. You see what I'm saying? You don't have it today, and I can't let one player hurt my team, even if it's the quarterback. If the quarterback don't have it today, we're gonna have to take him on up out there. Let's pat it on back. Listen, man, you just don't have it. Let's run the other guy in. I'm not gonna force it. You don't have it today. You're not prepared. You don't have it today. Let's go with somebody else. One player cannot hurt our chances of winning games. That's how it has to be. If you don't have it that day, we're going to have to sit you down and put the next man in there. We can't let you hurt us. For real. And then that guy gets set his ass down. Watch how he come back the next game. He'll be on his stuff the next game. All right, Julia says we could probably make the playoffs and win the trip. I'm saying we could do some stuff. Yeah, Gardner Minshew. What I called him. I don't know. That dude, it shouldn't have paid him that. Yeah, JT said, I remember you said that, Q. Yeah, we've been after that, man. We've been saying that. The Saints could have won. If you look at the games, the Green Bay game was a win. The Detroit game when the Saints was down and was shooting back, Detroit didn't have an answer. The Saints defense had figured out the Lions offense and had them shut the hell down. When the fumble happened on the play where Derek Carr still pretended like he had the ball in his hands and the ball was under the center, because that's where the ball dropped out, and he still was carrying on a toss play without the ball. And then when he gets to the point he's supposed to toss it, then he looks in his hands and then points down like, how do you not know the ball's in your hand? That kind of stuff is that Drew Brees would have never done that. He would have known the ball was right there. To me, to this day, that was a glitch in the Matrix play. The dude got the goddamn ball, the ball out of his hands, and then nothing's in his hands, and he's carrying out the play, a toss sweep to the right side with no ball in his hands. And then when he gets to the point where he's supposed to toss it to Kamara, he looks in his hands and then looks, and there go the it's over there. What? That type of stuff's like, bro, there's something up here wrong here. There's something wrong up here. And I was like that. When I knew it at that point, I said, this dude doped up out of his goddamn mind. If you don't realize you don't have the ball and you 5 yards from the damn ball. You can't make this shit up. Man, we done seen some stuff, haven't we, family? But with that being said, that's what I'm saying about good coaches change things. Now, I'm not talking about Dennis Allen. Now, don't get me wrong on here. Now, Dennis Allen does look better in practice in OTAs right now, but it's a difference. I caution you. I'm not saying that Dennis Allen won't do something positive. That's not what I'm saying. Or soon doing something negative. All I'm saying is one of the best indicators of future behavior is past behavior. Not far off in the past behavior, but recent past behavior. Don't expect a guy that can't spell CAT tomorrow to be the next guy that create the rocket so you can go on to Pluto somewhere. Don't just saying, don't do it. You know, that ain't, we just calm down on it. Pump your brakes on the excitement about such a person is all I'm saying. You just have to keep it down, because we have to understand that what you see now is different when the regular season comes. So what we need to do and see is knowing that we have the proper personnel, offensively speaking, because he changed out 90% of the room, and those guys are good coaches that's in there. It's an upgrade. Doug Marrone is gone, so John Benton is an upgrade over what Doug Marrone was doing. That was a problem. No disrespect to none of the other coaches that we have, but obviously Clint Kubiak, to me, is an upgrade over what Pete Carmichael was doing, because Pete Carmichael might have known the system, but he did not have the character needed to run an aggressive offense like Sean Payton did. He didn't have he did not have the character for that. He was meek and weak, and he ran a milquetoast beta male offense that didn't produce. It was predictable at times, flimsy and weak at other, and it didn't hold people accountable, especially the quarterback. How you studying film and you're not talking to your quarterback about staring people down and he missing opportunities, and it looks jammed up and funky because you're not looking at all of your options that's out there. And by the way, Derek Carr, I've listened to all those press conferences last year. Not one stinking time did he ever say, I got to stop staring down one side of the field. Not one stinking time did he say it. Not one stinking time. And these guys supposed to be studying film for a living. Not one stinking time did he say it, and I heard all of them. Not one stinking time did he say, man, you know what, man, my problem is the offense is all right. I get stuck over here. Let me get in my Derek Carr bag right quick. I get stuck in there. I see him. And I can, he does all this, start flailing his limbs, and I got stuff over here, and and I put this in, and I kind of look at it and I say to myself, it's a good offense, and we're gonna win. We're gonna put it together. We're gonna do this. I called Elvin. I said, Elvin, listen, come over to my house and eat steak. You want a steak? We'll talk about the offense. We just hang out together, drink daiquiris, eat lobster. You don't like lobster? Oh, you don't eat steak? You're a vegetarian? Okay, I'll just rip a plant. I got some plants in my backyard. I just pull them up out the ground, just throw them in the pot. You can eat that. Oh, you're not going to eat that? Okay, well, just come on over here. We're going to play Pokemon together. We're building the camaraderie, And I just see, I see so many things there. We're gonna work it out. Gonna do it. Offense, such and such. I never heard the man say not one time that I'm staring the people down. But that's what I'm saying. It's good to have coaches that understand what the player's strength and weaknesses are, and not only that, but have the balls to be able to call them on the BS. Because what you're doing is hurting the offense if you are not going through the progressions. That's why those guys was frustrated out there. That's why I didn't get too mad at Michael Thomas and Chris Olave and all these other guys, and they had some of these guys attacking them, saying, "Oh, this guy's dead and he's a prima donna and all that." But don't say a damn thing about Derek Carr, Dennis Allen. Don't say nothing about them like they squeaky clean, but you're gonna attack them other guys over there. I ain't gonna let you do it. I ain't gonna let you stand up on there and post up high and blame Thomas and call him this, and he just causing problems. He just causing problems, like the dude where he just randomly start attacking people. Now, he had that thing with Drew Brees when he talked about Drew not being able to get the ball out there, and then it later comes out that Drew can't even use his arm right now. But do we then go back retroly and say, damn, Michael Thomas was talking about that? But then we understood that the man was losing his arm and his ability to throw the ball from all of the years that he abused himself. And he said he had to learn to throw left-handed because his right arm. This is what Drew said. But are we going to go retroactively and say, damn, man, Michael Thomas kind of said some stuff about Drew, getting weakened and how that arm and all that kind of stuff? Is it truth or is it not truth, man? That's what I'm saying at the end of the day. But you got people that can be called. If the guy is hurting the team, you got to call them out. You can't let them sit up there and be protected. And that's something guys hate. That's what fractured the team. The fractures that they pretended that didn't happen when they were lying about it. See, these bastards sit up here lying, man. But then the guy throws the team under the bus and you forget all that though. Forget all that. And we're going to just play football now. It's real life, fam. If you have a relative that did something egregious to you or did something disrespectful or severely off code, you might forgive them because that's what you're supposed to do, but you're going to be looking at them side-eyed. You ain't going to have the same energy for them. And you know what that did? That whooped them all the way back down here, and they got to earn their way back up. They got to earn your respect and trust again. You see that? That's how that shit works, man. It don't just work, we just going to forget about it and play football. These are humans, man. A lot of this shit is driven off of trust. I got to trust you. That you're going to do your job. I got to trust you that you're going to make the right calls, make the right plays, that you're going to say the right things. These are they're humans. They're human beings. They're football players. They're not robots. They're the same as you and me. They're the same. Shit. All right. Big ups, fam. All right. What's up, Hakeem? How you doing, my brother? Good to see you, bro. Hope everything going well with you, my friend. All right. Roddy said he could feel the ball was fumbled and bro, listen, I challenge y'all to look that shit up, bro. I'm telling y'all, go look that up. It was one of the weirdest things I ever seen. I would put it as one of the weirdest plays in Saints history was Derek Carr. That play I talked about on that same list is the time when Danny Waffle was running around and the Carolina Panther dude literally grabbed his helmet and twisted it around on his head. And this dude running around with his helmet covering his eyes. Y'all remember that? But one in the chat, that it's up there with one of them blooper plays. Yeah, dude was trying to do a toss sweep and the ball on the ground underneath the center. The dude went, I was like, I can't do it. Yeah, I can't deal with this no more. I can't do it. I turned in the Green Bay game, the second half offense, 6 straight drives where they punted. Those drives with, that's right. Took less than 2 minutes off the clock. Thank you, brother Terrence, man. You bring in the statistics to it, bro. Indeed. Absolutely, indeed. It was crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Can we actually get to the playoffs this year? You change coaches. These coaches are more accountable, especially the decision makers on the offensive side of the ball. Am I putting a lot of faith in Dennis Allen? I'm not putting any faith in Dennis Allen. Why not, Q? Because he hadn't earned anything yet. That's what's wrong with people. I keep saying that. Don't place faith. You taking something out of you that is not something that is like an infinite thing. You don't have, it's like you got a certain amount of everything that come from you. You can't give, don't put your energy into somebody until they prove that they earned it, that they've changed. And that's the problem with people that do nowadays. That's why they keep getting their heart broken, they disenfranchised and they feeling a certain kind of way. They're a little bitter and upset because you doing it. We don't do that. Let people earn it, man. That's the whole point of this thing. They have to earn it like you did. People just didn't give you, such and such, unless your parents, that's different. But if they're not, even in some of your family members, but if it's somebody like a coworker or a family member or an assault, whatever the case may be, they have to earn that. You don't give it away. Don't give it away because they ain't do nothing to earn it. 9 and 8 ain't enough for you to say, hey man, I trust 1,000%. Well, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. It's crazy, man. They have to earn this, man. That's all of these people. They have to earn it. Don't let them pressure you into forcing you to support them. Don't be naive. Don't be gullible. They have to earn it. You have to earn it. They have to earn it. There is no exemption for somebody got to earn it unless you just ready to get messed over. I'm just keeping it real. Like, and I talk about game a lot. Like when I used to talk about, and I say something about that old girl and all that kind of stuff, man. It's the same thing. They got to earn it. People got to earn love, faith, trust. All that has to be earned. You can't give away your faith and your love and all that stuff for people that don't deserve it. You asking for heartbreak, and we ain't got time to sit up here and let that happen to you. You can be like, man, I did this, I did that, man, and that old girl, man, she done did all this on me. But did you do your homework, brother? What do you mean? Did you do your homework, brother? Did you, check out the signs? What signs may that be? The signs, brother. Was she doing stuff weird? Did her schedule change? What do you mean the schedule change? Well, her routine. Did you do the same thing every day? Y'all do this, that, that. Did something switch up and change and happen? Because usually that's how it is. There's something that you did. Is there a new song that you might have heard that is not befitting of something she's supposed to be listening to? It might be a song that's on the radio that she really feeling, and the lady on the song talking about cheating. Is she feeling that song? Well, now that you think about it, man, come on, man. Come on, bro. Like I said, bro, we got to be able to, it's context clues. We don't give away nothing unless they earn it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, straight up, man. Julius said, do you think Carr was more worried about losing his job or getting high? He made a statement basically saying getting so his team knew he was tough. I personally think he wanted this try to win. Yeah, I'm not saying Carr definitely was doing what he felt that he needed to do, like what most professional athletes are programmed to do, to go out and put their body on the line. And that's why you see a lot of them tore up, because that's the programming. The programming is, if you don't have a broken bone or where you can't walk and your limbs ain't falling off, go play football. Where did that come from? You see, I'm just keeping it a buck, man. No, Carr was doing what he was programmed to do, to go and play. And like I said, man, the team is supposed to protect the players from themselves, and the Saints just offered them up. So that's why I said I don't fret Carr. I don't throw at Carr. That's like I said, I actually protect Carr in many instances, but I'm real enough to say what I seen that was wrong. And like, oh, well, because people will say a blanket statement, or people just don't like Derek Carr, such that no, Derek Carr is a very likable guy. He really is. He's a likable guy, but we're not talking about his likableness off the field. We talking about his play on it. I can care less about that unless it's impacting what's going on the field. His personal life is his personal life. But if he's staring down guys and you can notice and you can see it on the tape, and he's not fixing it, my next question would be, where's the coach to fix this? And they did not fix it. The point is, on that long spiel, is that Kubiak won't let that happen. Why? Because he's accountable, and the pressure is on all of those guys to produce this year, or all of them fired. It's no getting, if they don't make the playoffs, and, playoffs is the measurement for Dennis Allen to save his job. I mean, that's already understood. There is no future for Dennis Allen or any of these people unless they win. So there's a pressure on the team in the final year to produce. They finally did the desperate thing. They cleared the offensive room and got accountable guys there. Dennis Allen said early in the year that he wants that accountability that the offense has with the top decision makers like Clint and Janoku and all these other guys to filter throughout the team. He said that. And I paused the tape and I said, that's an interesting thought, because usually if accountability is the mindset of the team, it's supposed to come from top down, from the coach on down through the team. The way Dennis said it was, he's talked about it coming through the offense to filter through the team. I was like, that's an interesting concept. We'll see what happened. That's an interesting concept. We'll see exactly how it happened. But at least they're talking about accountability. They didn't talk about that last year. You know how I know that? Because we was talking about that last year. The same words that Dennis Allen It's been saying over and over again, attention to detail and accountability is what I was saying for last year and portions of the first year when they went 7-10, because that's what the team was lacking. It wasn't a talent thing. The team was lacking accountability. That's why they had fractures in the locker room and all this other stuff going on. Even Elvin Kamara came out there and talked. He talked about that and mentioned that we just didn't have that level of accountability. And he said that a couple of weeks ago. But we were saying that. I was saying that for a long time. I was like, because I know what a team look like when they're not accountable. I know. And I know what happens to a team when they're not accountable. They underachieve. Then in games, I told y'all this. I said, fam, in some of these games when the Saints play, it's a moment of truth in each one of these games where the game is not for any team. And the team at the moment presents itself, and you have to be bigger than the moment to possess the moment. You can't be smaller than the moment because you can't handle it. And whichever team is big enough and ready for the moment of truth in those games will win the game. And then there were games where the moment of truth appeared and the Saints shrunk in front of it because their mindsets wasn't there. Is it this year? You got those accountable guys in there. You should see a difference in wins. You should. At least two wins. At least 2 wins accountable. You got to. Like it has to happen. Plus the pressure of the Saints playing in there. The Super Bowl is in their building. And then you got still a very inexperienced NFC South that you can go in. Your biggest competitor is more than likely going to be Atlanta. You dig? So, I mean, it very well can be. The Saints can win, man. I think they do win. I'm on record for saying the Saints going to win because of the accountability. Yeah, there you go. Pammy did her perfume change because then she might not have bought that perfume. That old boy probably did it. What old boy is that, Q? And I'm saying that, man, because listen, I be messing around. I be speaking game, man, because I'm very knowledgeable on stuff, man. I got a high degree of to pay attention to things. You know what I mean? I see things. I see it because I don't say I study, but I recognize behavior patterns because like I always talk about behavior patterns. It's very simple. Every person has a pattern, a routine, a ritual. Man, you study that, you got them figured out. Like, I can't figure this guy out. He do that. Oh, no. Everybody could be figured out. That's the game, baby. You just got to do a little bit more studying. Study who you got. Study who you got, baby. I'm giving game. I'm going to put it in the book. I'm about to drop it in the book. Pammy know what I'm talking about. She said, did her perfume change? I mean, that's the little stuff. I'm just saying, man, you got to protect who you are. If you don't know the person, because we got a lot of married people in here. We got some single people. It's a mix. But if you really want to improve your relationship with your special person, attention to detail, baby, a little organization and some communication. And I mean organization like communication. And when I mean by organization, like talking, like really try what I call the list. Try the list. Like I said, put 3 things down on a piece of paper. 3 things. Really think about it now. 3 things. Don't put 10 things on the paper because the dude ain't gonna look at that shit and say, man, what this is the grocery list? Don't do that. Put 3 things that's really important to you and give it to your significant other. Don't put no foolishness on that. I'm saying put 3 things that's really important to you. Really things that's important to you that she or he's not doing for you that you want them to do for you. Put 3 things and have that person to give it to you. Now really think about that. Give it to them. Give it to them. And if they agree upon them, have them to sign it and you date it. Have them to sign it and date it. I ain't telling you go down to the notary. Don't go down to the notary. All I'm saying is that's something between you and that other person. Have them sign it. And then commit to memorizing the 3 things on the paper so that at any time that you want to, you can have that person to recall those 3 things on that list that's important to you. And after a while, if they got it in their mind, they got it in their heart, they know what you want. They got it in their heart. You got to get a little organized because some of the stuff is like you can look at a relationship like a business. It's a similar thing. It's all about, that's what attention to detail and understanding the person that you with. And you would know by those 3 things that you give you, if our mind right or is mind right. And if they serious about committing to you. Now listen, I'm not, if you are serious about it, go ahead and do it. But if you're not, don't play around with this, because this shit's serious here. You know, don't be blaming me for nothing here, because I ain't tell your ass to do it. I say, listen, don't do it unless you really want to take it to that next level. Don't you do it. Don't be coming up here saying, hey, Q, I did that. And guess what? Such old ball done ran up off there. He did it. No, I don't want to hear all of that. I'm not telling you, be ready for it. Then do it, but don't do it unless you're ready for it. That's all I'm saying. Oh, ball ran away from me. Good on your fucking. Hold on now. Oh, no. Oh, no, I won't hear it. I do not want to hear it. All right, what's up? Who that to you, fam? English says, it's a blessing. Thank you. Hey, man, I just pay attention, fam. All right. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Got that off of that quick. You gotta expand out your horizon, brother. You gotta expand on brother Julius. Brother, you got to expand your horizons, brother. All right, Pam, shout the communication. And we can do it. Listen, fam, the brothers, listen, sisters. Let me talk to the brothers right quick. And ladies, y'all stick your ears and your hands in your ears so y'all can't hear this. All right, I'm talking to the brothers. Listen, if you serious about old girl, and that's my term, you know, that old girl, like I say, that's old country lingo. You say serious about old girls, make sure, you know, you understand and you know, like I know, you know, and I know that you can do you can pick it up and do whatever you want to do in that relationship, because you got the ability. Look how you apply the intelligence and genius that you are. You can pull up stats and remember stats from 10 years ago. You know, Hall of Fame players, all of that. You are a sports aficionado and a genius. When it comes down to sports and a lot of things, you're unmatched, unrivaled. That's the same God-given genius ability you have to do that. And I mean, not even just one sport, like football, you know, pro football, college football, basketball, baseball, boxing. Even some of us is good at the Olympics. We be knowing all of that stuff, don't we? Man, it's the same skill. That's the same way you approach that relationship. That's real money. Okay, ladies, y'all can take your hands out of y'all. Y'all was listening anyway. I ain't mad at y'all. All right, let me get on out of here, man. Rich says, can they come from behind? How did they respond when they get punched in the mouth? The 09 championship team was gutsy. They were locked in and focused. That's why we won the championship. Yeah, that they were playing behind the energy of the head coach. And Sean Payton did a lot of stuff that year in 09. He had the team there. He had them believing in themselves. Sean would gamble at times with plays like when the Super Bowl play, the Saints started off the second half with that onside kick that changed the trajectory of the game. And that took a lot of guts to do that, because had that play not worked properly, we might have had a different outcome in that game. But that's the part of doing it. Now, could Dennis Allen take the next step in becoming a respectable NFL head coach this upcoming year and do that? I don't know. But I just need him, like, and many people believe, like, hey, man, he is a good defensive coordinator. He'll run the defense. I have no problem with that. I don't think he'll be an overseer. He just appoints guys and then he goes off into his room and lets them run it. We just would hope that the guys that he picked to run the respective rooms have enough accountability to kind of police themselves, so to speak. You get what I'm getting at? To kind of police themselves. And that's what we count on, because his coaching method is not going to change. He's not going to say, hey, man, starting off this new season, this regular season, we're going to let Joe Woods run the defense. He's going to call the plays for the defense, and I'm just going to watch everybody play out. If he did that, that will let me know that he's ready to become go on that next level. And people like, nah, Q, I want him with the defense. Bro, he picked Joe Woods. Joe Woods is not a bad defensive coordinator, bro. Joe Woods is a very smart man, bro. Very likable and very intelligent man. Joe Woods ain't no bum. Joe Woods know what he's doing. But if Dennis Allen wanted to take that next step, and I hear that, I was like, okay, damn, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. But like I said, it has to, if it works, it has to work, because all those other guys are accountable and policing themselves. Now, Dennis Allen steps in if he needs to, or is he supposed to step in and make changes, or say, hey, man, we need to do this. Does he do that? We'll see, because it is his ass on the line. So I would say yes, and he'll be a little bit more proactive and stepping into places to make sure things are right, because he knows he's not as comfortable as he was last year, because we do understand that we're not going to tolerate another 9-playoff year. So, I mean, you kind of look at it, but like I said, again, I still do think the Saints will do enough to get into the playoffs. All right, Julius says I'm happy. Okay, there you go, brother. Okay, all right, Julius. All right, man. All right, yeah, brother. The book is coming now, KD. The book is coming, brother. I got some stuff for your ass, man. Let me tell you something, brother. 47, man. I'm 47 years old. 47 years worth of game, baby. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. The book is coming. It's coming out there for you, baby. And I'm going to tell you something. We're going to put it together. We're going to make 1 and 1 make 2, baby. We're going to put it together. We're going to put it together. All right. Well, KD said, welcome to Big Q TED Talk. Yeah, man, it's good, man. People, he talk love, man. I ain't one of them dudes that talk about, because it's all about how you approach people. Like, everybody can have somebody. Somebody for everybody. But you got to also remember, you got to do a little looking at yourself. I be cautious of people who, that think that you're the problem. I can't do nothing with that until the person realizes that they got to look, because there's no such thing as that. Maybe in very, very rare circumstances, that might be the case. Now, I did remember some time ago with people when that small percent, but the great vast majority of the time, it's a two-way thing. Because there's a reason why you drew that person. You draw these people because you're sending out there, man, there's so much stuff going on, man. It's like you draw the people to you. You draw who you draw to you. And if the same circumstances happening to you, like, damn, I dated that old girl and the same thing happened with the previous old girl and the one before that. Well, guess what? Guess who the problem is? Your ass. Because it's something you get to a point. And like I said, it's levels here. You got to remember, that's a human over there that you dating. So at some point, y'all got to go up like this, because sometimes people can go like this. This happen all the time. People will do this, and then after a time, they'll start doing this, and they'll grow apart. It's I don't want to call it work, because it sounds funny when you call it work, but it is a great degree. It's a great degree of effort, but the majority of it is communication, and it's a give and a get principle. And if the person is for you and with you, you working as a team, they believe in your vision, and they're working with you. Don't be stank with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got, man, like I said, man, some of it might require you to journalize a lot of stuff. Like, brothers, start journalizing a lot of your stuff, because some of us don't have the best memories in the world. If you got to write down some stuff, your anniversary and all, write that shit down or put it in your phone. We got AIDS now. We ain't no excuse for not remembering the anniversary, or remembering her birthday, or remembering her mama birthday, or the children's birthday. I'm bad with dates. So I had to put this goddamn thing to good use. You know what I'm saying? It's my personal assistant, right? I put the dates in here and tell it to alert me, and you know what I'm saying? So ain't no excuse. We got to put that technology to use. But it's game, man. But a lot of this stuff is common sense, but a lot of it's not. A lot of it is it's just lost information that people used to know a long time ago. But now a lot of people buying into player and pimp culture, which is very destructive, because not every woman is a woman of the street. That's just two templates of different women, and you can't broad stroke every woman the same. She might slap the piss out of you. You might get a sore face, and if she really rough, you might get something shot at your ass. So you got to watch it. So yeah, man, it's just all that shit's hurting the people, man. You got to understand, man. They got real women out here, and women, they got real men out here. that's ready for love, and not everybody out here looking for a good time in the way you think they are. They got some people out here that want something deep and real, for real. All right? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to get the hell on out of here. Yeah, man. Thanks for reminding me, man. I'm talking about y'all game, man. Here we go. All right, so anyway, let me get on up out of here, man. I appreciate talking to y'all tonight, man. Listen, I'm going to holler at my family members on Patreon tomorrow, man. And that's patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, or simply join the channel, the channel for that information. And listen, man, we're going to talk about some more Saints, perhaps a little bit more game tomorrow, baby. Baby, we're going to talk about it all tomorrow. All right. So I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Y'all be good, man. Much love to the fam. And who that to you, baby. Appreciate y'all, man. Hold on. Where I'm at. Here we go. Peace.
Yeah. Huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. You're listening to the sports coma. Yeah. With Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check